Hi everyone, my name is Terry, and actually my full name is Tressa, but everyone's called me Terry since I was a baby. So I'm here because I really want to talk about my experiences and all of the things, all of the adversities, the struggles, everything that I've been through. This is my very first video that I've ever made. I'm making it on my own. I've intentionally decided to put out this first video so that you can see the very real me. I'm big on being real. I'm not wearing any makeup. I'm actually wearing my PJs, and it's about, let's see, I think it's about 7 o'clock or so in Los Angeles, California. And these videos that I will be making and putting out are very significant, very important to me, because in these videos I'm going to be very candid and I'm going to be talking about all of the things that I've been through. And I've been through some really real experiences, adversities, hardships, and it's important for me to inspire and motivate others. It's important for me to know that others will know the real me, they'll come to know me, and who I was and who I became as a result of my life experiences. And right now I call them existence experiences, because as I'm going through things still right now, and they're probably the most difficult things in my life, I don't really feel like I'm living, to be honest. I feel like I'm existing. I'm not where I want to be quite yet. I am successful in my own right. I have a health, inspiration, motivational life coaching business. I have my own line of pure organic products, and they're different from any other products out there, I believe, any other products ever created, because my products offer something that other products don't. So excuse the messy hair, the bare face, and everything else, but actually, you know what, it's the real me. So you can see my roots, you can see everything. Oh well. In the next few videos I'll be explaining my background, where I came from, the logistics, and everything else. For right now, I'll say that as I speak right now, I'm going through 3 different court processes in the criminal courts, 3 court cases, and 2 courts. So there's 2 court cases in one court, and 1 felony court case in another court, and they are running simultaneously. And these are the most terrifying experiences of my life, not because I'm a scared person. I'm actually a soldier. I'm one of the strongest people you'll ever come across, and that's also very important to me, to be emotionally strong. But the court process is such that it is really corrupt, and the judges involved, not all 3 judges, but 2 of the judges, and the prosecutors to those judges, to those courts, are extremely malevolent, malicious, and I'll say that they are doing everything they can wrongfully to try to attempt to get a conviction. And one of the cases, a misdemeanor, is actually a malicious prosecution case. And it's very obvious. The so-called alleged non-victim who went forward and made a police report against me did it in undue retaliation. And the city attorney happened to pick that case up, which I am absolutely not in any way guilty at all. Nevertheless, I am going through that case, and the so-called alleged non-victim continues to make false allegations even as the case is progressing, because he's still not satisfied enough that he's put me through this, that he's caused a case against me. But instead of leading his own life, which he obviously doesn't have, and trying to run his business, he spends his days, his afternoons, and parts of his evenings at the court concentrating obsessively on me and keeping company with the prosecutor in this misdemeanor case, and constantly making false allegations and filing additional false police reports. So he's actually misusing the court system for his own personal undue vendetta against me. I'm due in court, back in court in a few days, and it's probably the most distressing, in fact it is not just probably, it is the most distressing period in my life so far. I've been separated from my babies, who I love more than anyone and anything in the world. They come first. They will always be first, no matter how old they become. Right now, they're babies, and that is the most distressing. But this is the most developing, distressing situation in my life with the court system. I can say that indeed, California, specifically the Los Angeles County court system, is the most crooked. Prosecutors do anything to try to get a conviction. It's not about guilt or innocence with defendants. It's about if they can get a case filed, if they can get the case to stick, and if they can get a conviction. That's all that matters to them. There are few to no ethical judges or prosecutors left, and appointed attorneys don't care. Whether they're appointed through the public defender's office, the alternate public defender's office, or appointed from the bar panel. These attorneys have become lazier and even more in cahoots with the courts. They just want to get paid and go on to the next case. They have no passion for the truth or for justice or for seeing that their defendant is properly represented and or vindicated. And attorneys, no matter what side they're on, whether the prosecution or the defense, can at some point, sooner than later, see through in cases, and they know if their client, the defendant, or the defendant they're prosecuting is really guilty or not. But it's just gotten to the point where they don't care either side. They just want to get, if it's a prosecution, they want to get a conviction, and if it's a defense attorney, they just want to get a case over with and go on to the next case and make the next monies. And it's not just pathetic, it's scary, it's terrifying if you're the one who's fighting a case and you cannot afford a private attorney. And a lot of the times, not most, but a lot of times, even if you do hire a private attorney, which I have hired in the past, and I do have a lengthy record, I will say that right now, and you'll come to know more and more about me in my next videos. I've had experiences in all realms of the legal system, and I've paid attorneys, I've had high-priced attorneys, and I've had appointed attorneys. And my experience is that they've never properly defended me, and I'm not unreasonable, but I do demand that an attorney who is on my case not be lazy and not just try to get me to plead out to something if I shouldn't plead out, and that if they see that I'm not guilty, to fight for me. And even if they feel that I am, to still fight for me and adequately represent me. But attorneys, a lot of the times are not that way. There are some very good attorneys out there, and I've actually seen them in action where they passionately defend their clients, not in a way where they're duking it out and fighting in the courts and they're rude, but no, they legally battle for their clients as they should, and they go to bat and they try to get the best outcome for them, whether it's through a plea deal or it's taking it to trial or standing up for a client that they feel is really not guilty and who's getting a raw deal. So I've never had one of those attorneys, unfortunately. And right now I have attorneys who refuse to properly represent him. A lot of times they don't show up to court. They'll have another attorney step in for them and they won't even notify me. They don't answer my phone calls. And the common thread here is, well, common denominator is that they're all appointed. I was doing financially very well because I am successful. And ambition and success are very important to me because I want to leave a great legacy for my children and their children and their children. At this point, though, because of these 3 current cases and the corruption of the judges and the prosecutors, I've been put through the bail process about 3 times for each case when I shouldn't have been. Now I can understand when you first get arrested and you have to post bail, and that's a requirement, and it's justified. And then you get arraigned. And if they don't feel that your bail needs to be raised at that point for any reason, then you should be able to go through the court process as long as you're attending court on time and doing everything that you should do, which I have. I've always been not just on time to court, but I've always been there earlier than I should. I've waited. I've never, ever in my history of the long record I have ever missed a court date or ever so much has been late. I'm very conscientious and I take it very seriously, and I do everything correctly in the process. So in these 3 current cases, I was actually put through the bail process 3 to 4 times unjustly. And all my money was used up on eventually posting bail again and again, again and again, and again and again and again and again, after being incarcerated in jail pending posting bail. And the jail conditions in Los Angeles County jails are the worst. They're the worst in the nation, actually. Currently, the women in Los Angeles, if you're arrested in Los Angeles County, you're a female, you get taken to CRDF, Century Regional Correctional Detention Facility, and there's nothing correctional about it in the least bit. It's a penal institution, and instead of having made improvements due to all of the complaints and lawsuits filed for their abusive practices, they've actually become far, far worse, and that's not just my point of view. To spend 1 hour in there is tantamount to catching a physical illness. If you didn't go in psychologically touched, you will come out touched in some way or another, traumatized, and it depends on you how you recover. The conditions in there are beyond filthy, sickening in a literal way. So just letting you know just a fraction of the things that I've been through, and I will be back with more videos with background about me so you can understand me better, and I really look forward to it. Thank you.